for me, my God,
yes.
God, my Christian God.
I remember it must have been the first year that I was clean, and I got what was known as the NA spread.
Right, the 20 or 40 pounds we
Right,
gained.
right. And I was getting bigger, you know what I mean? And I was smoking cigarettes, but I was eating more. And so it took me quite a few years before I could get a handle on the eating part.
Correct.
Okay? Because if through the steps, I believe, we learn how to control our lives, various aspects of our lives.
Yes.
How do the steps help you in your life?
Oh, I couldn't have made it without the steps because, see, if I was the same person just not using, which I couldn't be because I couldn't stop using without the steps for me, but some people are and they're miserable. But see, if I was miserable, I was going to use. So I had to change, and the only way to change was to work the steps. And like we say, we fight along the way, and that's what I was talking about with the fighting. You know, at some point, if the disease came at me and said, you don't need this higher power, or you're not powerless. I had to admit how powerless I was over everything, people, places, things, other people's thoughts. I can't change them. People say, you make me feel. I'd say, wait a minute, I can't make you anything. They're your feelings, own them. You know, I had to literally change the way I talked, spoke, thought, my negative feelings. My cup was always half empty. I had to change to a positive view that I was grateful. You know, I remember crying and thanking God that I still had car insurance. You know, how many people didn't have a car or insurance? That's gratitude. That's thankful for the little things because I had to change, and I started changing, and I would change, and I'd get through the first step or the second step, and then I'd fall back a little bit. I'd slack off, and I'd start, old behaviors would come back, and then I have to jump forward and jump back into my steps. And I did the first 12 steps in 3 years, which is pretty good for Narcotics Anonymous. People do them at different rates, but I never stopped. I continued working them, and I had to. And the fourth step of taking a moral inventory, you know, what I found out with my sponsor was that I felt I was unlovable. That I just was unlovable and I was inconsequential, and I went through life trying to make people love me and things that I had no power over. And the one thing that saved me when I talked to my sponsor is, well, you know what? God loves me.
Yes.
I knew that my higher power loved me, that I was here for a reason. And then I said, well, and my sponsor loves me. And then I realized, well, maybe my kids love me. But you know what? I realized from that day on of my fourth step that as long as I was right with my higher power, that I was okay.
And I love you too, Jackie.
I love you too.
And that's important.
It is.
And you know, one of the things that's so fabulous about 12-step programs, and that is that we can find out, and I'm getting ready to say something that I think is powerful, that we don't really have to just depend upon our family for love.
Correct.
And
Correct.
one of the things that I'm finding out, even after 25 years of being in recovery, is that just because you are my family doesn't mean that I have to be around you.
Correct.
Especially if I don't feel good about you.
Yes.
I am closer to some people in 12-step programs than I am to my family members.
And I agree with you. And that's
Yes.
exactly what I do too. I